This video is sponsored by Mobile Solutions. Whether you're a woodworker or a car audio fabricator or a do-it-yourself maker, there's something that all of us make. That thing that all of us make is one of the worst things ever. It's dust. A dusty work environment can be unsafe. If dust settles on a smooth surface, it can be very slippery. Constantly having to deal with dust in your shop can lead to lost time because you're constantly cleaning it off of everything. And ultimately, above all else, inhaling dust is really bad for your health. So one of the main things that we have to do for a lot of our projects that creates dust is sanding. The best way to collect that dust that is created during the sanding process is to catch it at the source. So as a car audio fabricator or a woodworker or a maker, many of us will have a router table that has dust collection built in. What if there was a way to capture this sanding dust by using the router table? Well, now there is, because Mobile Solutions just released their new DustMight. Let's jump in and take a look and see how this works. Now, to install the DustMight is really easy. I'm going to start with removing the existing router lift, and I recommend getting yourself a new plug connection here on the cord so that you can easily disconnect this from within your existing dust collection system. So here we have the DustMight, and you can see on the underside of it, we have this retention ring. If we flip this back over, the retention ring simply locates into position. We're good to go. So the DustMight measures approximately 17.5 inches by 23.5 inches, so you have plenty of room for larger size projects. Since the DustMight collects the air from a central location and then it has this plenum technology that extends out, it will actually suck air all the way to these outside holes. Now, one of the things that I first wondered when I got this is how much air would actually be pulling through these holes that are furthest from the collection point. I was trying to think of a cool way that I could actually visualize this and see this. So what I actually did is I took some dry ice and I put it in a container and I set it off to the side of the DustMight. It was actually pretty interesting how well it would actually pull the air in those outside holes. I think this is a good way to visualize and understand that when you're sanding something on top of the DustMight, it's going to collect all that airborne sanding particles down into the system. Now, right now I have my dust collection system turned off so that you can actually hear me talking, but if you guys are familiar with MDF, you know that it's one of the worst woods to sand because it creates this really, really fine particle sanding dust. There'll be a thin film of it on everything in your shop. The DustMight really helps to avoid this. And here on screen, you can see a little comparison between the dust collector being off on the top and on the bottom. So as you can imagine, you can use the DustMight for sanding any project. But just to show you guys something that's particular to car audio, you know that a lot of times in custom car audio, we will be sanding body filler. So here I have a piece where I've applied some body filler. It's in need of sanding. Let's see how well it works real time. Now I'm going to turn on my vacuum system, so you're not really going to be able to hear me, but let's get this guy sanded. So if you've ever sanded body filler before, you know that even a small part like this will result in a ton of dust. It's a pain to clean up. You definitely don't want to be breathing it, and it gets all over your hands. And I was actually surprised. Normally I would have to clean this hand right away because it would just be absolutely covered in dust. And it still has a little bit of dust on it, but it's definitely nothing like before. So the DustMight definitely does its job. It gets rid of all the dust and it keeps our work area nice and clean. Now, as many of you guys probably know, whenever I do a video with Mobile Solutions, they always offer a special car audio fabrication fan-only discount. So they're doing one to launch the DustMight here. So if you want to check that out, details are down in the video description. Thank you for taking the time to check this out. Let me know what you think of the DustMight down in the comments. And if you'd like to see some other videos that I've done with Mobile Solutions in the past for some of their fabrication tools and training, you can check those out here on screen. As always, my friends, thanks for watching Design, Build, and Install.